Yeah, again, we're back up on the car park, sitting here on Trumpton's. Jamie's come up, do a little bit more filming for Scattered Baits. And what we thought would be nice was, the last bit of filming we done was on the anchovy aquatics. And we left it that we was going to do a little bit on the SS range, otherwise known as the Sutton Specials. And we're just going to talk you through a little bit about my thought behind it and sort of what's in the bait, what the bait consists of, how to fish with the bait, and the other relative points like the pop-ups and the pellet that go along with the range and the dip. So, Sutton Specials. Well, this was a bait that, yet again, was used on Sutton to relatively good success in the winter months. As I said, being totally different from the other two ranges, this is actually based on a milk protein. I've always liked fishing with milks. I prefer it more than bird food. That's just my personal opinion. I've always done a lot better with milk proteins. The thing is with the SS range, yet again, it's got a very high quality milk protein in it, which is going to give the fish very good nutritional value. Plus we've also got like your caseins, a bit of soya, just to bulk it up. And basically, what I found with this, when I put this together, was the reaction on it. Bearing in mind, this is a winter bait, so I would be now, we're into what, middle of September, I'd be looking at now to start introducing just a little bit, not loads. Every time I'd come up to do a session, 10, 20 baits. Just get the fish used to seeing it, because you're going from 90% of your fish meals are like a dark, tanny colour, and now you're starting to put something in on a visual effect rather than a dark shaded colour. As I said, what I found with this, when I first started using it back on Sutton, it was almost quite instant. I'd started baiting with it, like I said, little and often, not loads, just because of the milks and the caseins in it. Basically, what you will find is, with a milk, a bait can blow very, very quickly. It's about putting it in the right quantities at the right time of the year. You don't want to be larruping it in. It's not like a fish meal where you can sort of, in the summer months, they're charging about, burning off energy. With a milk, you've also got to bear in mind, through the summer months, these fish have sustained a hell of a lot of oil content in the fish meals. Really, they don't need to, they're not going to eat nowhere near as much. So with a milk protein, I always found little and often was like a key factor. So we'll get one out of the bag. Being that it's a milk, like the caseins and that, it's got quite an out rubbery texture, which is quite nice. It's got a nice skin on it. But what you get with a milk, I don't know if you can see, it's almost like elasticated. It pulls apart. It's got a fruit flavour in it that's, I think, very underrated. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's a flavour that I've used time and time again, and when I've been struggling, it's caught me fish. It's got a nice bit of sweet and fruit enhancer in it. I mean, the smell is just a killer. You can tell that from as soon as you split it. Now, believe it or not, the original combination that I used this way back in the late 80s, Hutchie actually had a sweet and fruit enhancer powder out. In my eyes, it was the best one. I haven't been able to source this, but I've got something very close to it. Instead of it being a powder form this time round, now it's in a liquid form, but it still complements the bait with the fruit flavour that I've got. So, like I said, it's as near as damn it as how I had it on Sutton all them years ago. As I said, the level of flavour that's in it is 3 ml. That's all I've put in it, 3 ml to a pound mix. And for anyone that buys it, when you open it, you'll smell it, even at 3 ml. It is just an awesome, awesome flavour. Very, very underrated. We'll touch on the colour in a minute. As I said, you've got your sweeteners, you've got your sweet and fruit enhancers, you've got your caseins, you've got your milks. And another thing that anglers get, it's like pineapple, isn't it? Everyone associates pineapple with a yellow bait. This flavour, ever since day dot, I've always associated it with orange. I just think orange suits the flavour. You can't beat orange in the winter. One of the best best colours, I think, especially if you're fishing a lake that's been weedy. The clarity's still fairly good, so you're still getting that visual effect. So it's got a nice sort of bright orange that sort of just complements, I think, the flavour and the sweet fruit and sweet enhancers. So that is the Sutton Special, crumbled up, and as I said, done very, very well. Caught the big common on it, the fully scaled from Sutton, gone to other waters and caught just as well. What I would say is, with these type of baits, it's not only a big fish bait, but being that it's got that nice fruit flavour, on a day ticket type of water, this would be instant. You know, there's not a day ticket water out there that doesn't love a fruit flavour. This with either a single hook bait, 3 or 4 bait stringer, or even crumbed up, meshed up into a PVA bag, single fishing approach, just a bit of dust over around hook bait. That's a winner every time. Like I said, 100% confidence in it. And yeah, that's the Sutton Specials at the moment. We've also got in the range a pellet. This is a low oil content pellet, ideal for winter fishing. Yeah, again, it's not like the summer months, don't need to put loads of it in. A little stick bag with this, with one of the boilies as a hook bait. This is actually flavoured up, so it marries like the smell of the boilies. And like I said, yeah, again, it's just using your common sense. On a runs type water, yeah, you could probably get through quite a bit of this on your day ticket type waters, but on a big fish water, again, not a lot of people like using pellet in the winter. A lot of people just fish single hook baits. It wouldn't bother me. I would scald this up, a little bit of hot water in a kettle, just to turn it into a bit of mush, pushed into a PVA stick. You've got the flavours leaking through it anyway, and it's just giving that little bit more of attraction around the hook bait. Comes in a nice size, like it's a mini version, about 2.5 mil. And like I said, it just complements the boilie range. So that's another product that we use, or that we've got, that goes in conjunction with that. And then what we have, we've got the pop-ups. Now, these are little 12 millers. A lot of people like using smaller baits in the winter. Yeah, again, nice orangey colour. Smells exactly the same. We do these in 12s, 14s, 16s and 18s. And this is ideal for like your little snowman-y type rigs, or just your standard pop-up rigs. Yeah, again, nice orange, toned down a little bit, so it gives you, I mean, 90% of the snowman rigs, the baits are never identical. You've got one that's a little bit darker and one's a lighter colour. We also do cork balls in these, in 14, 16 and 18s. For those who like to fish chods, stiff-hinged rigs, like we've touched on this before, so I'm not going to go on too much. That's always what I would use with them sort of rigs. You've got to use a cork ball. These will hold up a choddy and a stiff rig, but in time, because you're using a lot bigger hook and the weight of the bristle filament and all that, it will pull it down. That will take on water. So for them sort of rigs, I would always sort of go more for the cork balls. We also do a dip that goes for glugging the pop-ups. Like I said, yeah, again, it's the fruit flavour with a little bit of the sweet enhancer, fruit and sweet enhancer, just complements. If you want to give that single hook bait approach more of a boost, so you've got a bit more of a attraction coming off around it. Like I said, I haven't actually got any dip with me, but we do a dip. So hopefully, like I said, you'll go out, give it a go. Hopefully it'll bag you a few fish this winter. I know some lads that have used it last winter and have caught very well on the day ticket types of waters. Colin had a few out of Sutton on it. Bearing in mind, Sutton's a different kettle of fish nowadays. It's a bit like sitting up here. They don't give themselves up easily, so you're not fishing for numbers, you're fishing for bites. So that's about it.